Hey friends, so we have Dune Summon with not necessarily new heroes, but you can also call them new heroes, as you'll see in the discussion. So, Hathor, Anubis, and Mat, they receive costumes. Yeah, they're the three that have received costumes and introduced into the portal. So, let's see. Let's start with Hathor, the darling of most. Uh, a hero that's absolutely superb in the original version on attack and defense both. But as you can see, the left side is completely full now with a lot of stuff. So Hathor in the costume version is a cleric, a very good class. This stays the same, and so does everything inside that. There's a costume bonus of 13, 13, 21, 5, which hikes the stats fairly well, especially the health. And then there are, I think this passive was already there, 50% chance. Okay, so the first passive, 50% chance to perform boosted health to all allies by 10%, and boosted health can exceed, blah, and all allies gain small amount of mana existed. Now what has happened is in the costume version, originally it was 50%, in the costume version, it's guaranteed. When this character casts their special skill, any of their passive skills that grant extra effects on cast are guaranteed to activate, which means 50% of the passive only applies to the this version, which is the main version of the hero, original version. But for the costume, it is going to be active 100% upon firing of specials. Same is going to apply to this one. Resist mana, that's the other passive. This character has innate resistance against status ailments that stop mana generation. Yeah, so that cookie thing will not work. Well, will not work on the basic hero without having fired the immunity aspect. So I would say three aspects to the passive. One obviously is the original. Second one is making the original 100% for the costume. They could have just changed the wording. I guess this button was more, much cheaper, I guess. And this passive is really insane. But the good part is she's not cleansing. So this basically ensures survival of herself and the teammates. Now, let's go forward. So obviously all these stats have got boosted because of the costume bonus. Motherly love. It was motherly care, so it's motherly love at fast speed. All allies regenerate 640 boosted health over 4 turns. So that's about 160 per turn. All allies are immune to new status effect for 4 turns. That remains the same. Now, the tricky part is to be able to enjoy blah and blah, you have to use the costume version. And the costume version is nothing great except this big benefit that it provides. In today's times, boosted health over turns is really of not much use. This 480 is way more valuable than the 640, which will come as 160, 160, 160 by the time the game is already over or the hit is already over. So that's the main thing of the costume will be enhancement of stats and of course the benefits that come from the passives. And because there is an additional 5% mana bonus given, I was reading she can charge in 6 tiles. That is 2 matches with the full on max, that is 20% mana bonus coming from Cyclops and Magic Troops. Yeah, there you go. So that's Hathor. Going to Anubis. So Anubis in this Avatar becomes fighter, so can revive and cause more pain. This stays the same as early on. It's again the same costume bonus. 60% chance to perform 70% damage to all enemies. Dispels the latest dispellable buff from all enemies. That again over here becomes 100% in the costume version. Then there is another passive, which is this character gains 5% mana when they receive a status ailment or a negative stack. Okay. In terms of the stats, they have already got boosted because of this. So they look fairly okay. Health is on the higher side because of the massive 21% spike. Mark of the Jackal. Mark of Anubis becomes Mark of the Jackal special at average speed. Inflicts the target with greed for 3 turns. Enemies with greed prevent other enemies from receiving friendly effects of their allies' special skills. All enemies receive 693 poison damage. I think it was, yeah, a little bit lower. All enemies get minus 28 defense. It will be a little higher, minus 34 defense for 3 turns. So yeah, it's a little jumble up and down. But the main thing again in this hero will be this big benefit. And since there is no overtime, the defense part is 6% lower. I find this one to be more useful because of this. So this will ensure that the 70% damage to all enemies always happens and the dispel is 100% happening instead of 60%. So that's that, and obviously there is this particular benefit also. And there's tons of ailments that's there. So the benefit is the costume version is useful, and this talent class obviously helps big time. Going to Marth, the third chick. The third costume. I'm like in super fast mode to use the word chick. So, which one is prettier? Yeah, I like this one. So everything remains the same. In this, okay. Rogue changes to this. Paladin, which is more defense-based talent. Obviously, this remains the same. Costume bonus adds on to improve the stats. This passive was 50% chance, deal 70% whack and minus 34% attack for 3 turns. Now there is a twist. There is no 100%, but there is into 3 or x3 or rather small x3. So extra chance for effects on special skill. When this character casts their special skill, any of their passive skills that grant extra effects on cast have 3 chances to activate. Oh boy. So this character gains 5% mana each time an enemy casts a special skill that directly boosts health. So it is specific to boosted health. Oh. So the extra effect over here is minus 34, that's an effect. So that has 3 chances to activate. That still needs to be understood a little bit. One chance is 50%, second chance will be 50%, third chance, so there'll be 3 chances. That's my understanding. Okay, let's go forward. 933, 951, obviously it has got the benefit from here. Protector of the Blue River from Bringer of Order at fast speed. Okay, so deals 220% damage to all enemies. All enemies get minus 35 defense for 3 turns. So it was minus 34, becomes minus 35. All fire enemies get minus 20% attack for, so it was minus 34. So for a change, the costume version is better. So it gives a higher damage, higher defense down, very minor. 1% extra, and obviously all fire enemies get an attack down of -20, so there's a 4% differential, which doesn't matter much. But the key point is this and this. This character gets 5%. So if there is boosted health, which is again tricky and funny, there is a 5% mana, already fast speed. So really, I don't rate this much. This, they could have kept it simple. 100% activation would have been absolutely fun. But when this character casts their special skill, any of their passive skills that grant extra effects can on cast have 3 chances to activate. So it's very clear. First chance is 50%, there will be another 50%, another 50%. This is a very high possibility it'll activate. And for sure. And 3 chances to activate means whack, whack, whack. If suppose the 50% chance activates all the 3 times, then you basically are going to get 70, 70, 70, whack. -34 will remain the same. That's my understanding. Okay. So, all jokes apart, I would say interesting. But the good part is it's a mixed bag, I would say. Costume version is good, costume version is good, costume version is nah, the original is still going to be used, but the benefit will be this. And of course, the big benefit in this, apart from stats, is going to be that mana bonus. Yep, and the mana bonus benefit will come to her also. 6 tiles. She's already fast speed, so she becomes very fast with certain conditions being fulfilled. So there you go. Good luck for getting them in case you're really trying for them. And I read somebody did 8 pulls and got Hathor and Marth. So I think SG is being generous and letting them reign. So, well, or maybe it was an SG employee talking about it. But jokes apart, good luck for getting them. And see you in the next video. Cheers.